Blessings and welcome everyone. Just a reminder before we begin. Your rising sign horoscope will give you additional clarity as to how a great deal of your sun sign horoscope may show up, and your moon sign horoscope will give you the less prominent side story that'll also be playing out for this 2-week period. Remember, horoscopes serve best when observed, like a weather or traffic report. You have influence over all outcomes with your thoughts, actions, choices, and deeds. Use the information that presents to help you make the highest choices for the highest outcomes. If you wish to schedule any of my services or like access to more content via my Patreon, follow the links below or go to my website, integrativemysticism.com. Hey there, Pisces. It's time to have a look and see what is going on when it comes to the second week of March 2021 for you. And just a quick reminder for all of you Patreon patrons out there, the weekly astrology bonus report is up. And I'm doing things a little bit differently there. I'm actually not doing the live where it goes on for over an hour and I run through all of the signs and do the whole rigmarole there. But what I do is I actually do a nice condensed report with a list of all the signs on screen that you can reference, and it shows where all areas of life for each sign are being affected by the aspects we talk about. So if you're interested in checking that out, you can of course follow the links down below and go to my Patreon. But in this video, I want to focus on another aspect that is starting up this week and getting stronger as we go into next week. And it's really a big story of March. And that is Mars recently arrived in Gemini, your fourth house of home and family, forming a sextile to Chiron in your second house of earned income, employment, your values, money. And with Mars in your fourth house, right? Mars is the planet of action, energy, passion, the divine ascended masculine, and problem solving. Engaging the ruler of our baggage, our wounds, the stuff that may have registered on our consciousness that we need to clear if we're going to attain mastery and conscious evolution. It's a time where a lot of you are going to be finding that a challenge with your job or a challenge that you've had when it comes to your finances, or maybe the job you want to do, the role you want to play in the world, or something that relates to maybe your personal values, value system, is actually getting solved, but it's also being challenged by Mars to transform into something completely different than what you're used to. Because Mars is, as I've said for everybody, not about emotional or psychological fortification, but about solutions. There could be some breakthroughs coming through from either, the completion of a major story as it relates to your home or family situation, or possibly assistance coming from a family member or somebody you consider to be family, or one of your kids, or even just through the household in general. A solution is coming that is actually ending a long story or a long journey with your current work life, your current way of life as it relates to work and your finances. This might feel very uncomfortable, especially for those of you that may have felt that your job or maybe your career or your field was identity defining. Some of you may find that this is actually challenging you to release a certain goal or a certain aspiration that is not really yours, but that you have been chasing as maybe something that, was put on the table through your work, through your job until this point. Mars sextile to Chiron is one that's going to be giving a lot of people a bit of pause, because it's not a coddler, right? It's not about emotional or psychological fortification. It's about solutions. And with Mars sextile to Chiron, we have a major financial or major employment struggle going away, but it's not going away on your terms. It's working for you, but it's going to ask you to leave your comfort zone for it and maybe leave behind something that you have been chasing for something better, whether it's leaving behind a goal you're not ultimately very attached to, except for maybe the amount of time spent chasing it, for something that resonates truly with your heart. Mars sextile to Chiron may also eliminate something from your life that, while you are not really all that passionate about, may be difficult to accept as a loss because of that change in identity and change in direction. Remember, it's working for you, not against you. It just make life seem a bit complicated for the next few weeks. Lean in. As we get on to your spiritual themes of what's going on with just everything around your life, right, with the cards, you've got the Nine of Wands upright. And with the Nine of Wands upright, it's time for a lot of you Piscean people to pay attention to where a certain measure of protection around what you consider to be your dearest, most important, and most treasured goals and values needs to actually be established. Now, when I say protection, I don't mean coming at this with a fear-based mind. I'm talking about protecting something so it does not get spoiled, so that it can be taken care of and loved and nurtured, right? And protection is a part of that. It's not about putting up 3 inches of bulletproof glass because we think everyone's trying to kill us. That's just putting fear into everything that we do. And that creates a very dysfunctional idea of protection. But the Nine of Wands is about creating, these opportunities for yourself to be secure by protecting what really matters to you. What has had too much involvement from people or from maybe groups or just activities that are not actually healthy or complementary inclusions to it, right? Do we need to share all our plans with everybody all the time? Are there situations where we need to maybe be a little bit more careful about what we decide to accept contributions with? Maybe we have to set up some stronger boundaries or protections against that which we already know to be maybe volatile, unpredictable, or maybe, let's just say, a liability that we have been so afraid of taking that step with. Over the course of this week, with all of this good happening to you, it may be necessary, and it's okay, right? You put yourself and your valuables and and when I say valuables, I don't just mean physical things, first. As we get on to your material shifts when it comes to your work, your job, your finances, again, your living situation as it relates to, practical matters, you've got the Empress upright, and it's getting pretty sweet for you Piscean people on the professional and financial front, because with the Empress, I'm actually seeing you coming into either a role or maybe an avenue of wealth, or maybe even just wealth itself that's going to actually sustain you for quite some time, because I'm actually seeing things getting very, very comfortable. With the Empress, sometimes what we can see is something not only very cushy being offered to us as far as a job or a new living situation is concerned, but it's actually costing us less or no money to maintain that lifestyle, and it's actually profiting us instead. It's nurturing us. You may find that a lot of you are, yes, also coming into a situation where an income avenue or a source of revenue that presents this week is actually going to be not only clearing a lot of old issues we've been walking into this week with, right? Mars, sextile Chiron, but it is something that's setting you up for months, maybe even years to come, if you establish a relationship with it well and make sure that you honor what you are receiving in order to put it to work when it comes to, again, your biggest goals, your biggest aspirations authentically. When it comes to your communications with friends, relatives, and, other people in your life, you've got the Ten of Wands in reverse. And it looks like you're getting some kind of relief through a friend or a relative. There's something going on where a burden that you've been carrying, or maybe it's a burden that you've been carrying for another person, or maybe a person is a burden, is leaving your life. Now, whether this was something that we've been actively engaged in, or this has been a burden in a passive way, something that's always been a bit of a consideration, something kind of, hovering in the background, the Ten of Wands reverse is indicating it is no more. And in a lot of cases for you Piscean people, this may be something that is a gift of relief, maybe somebody coming and taking something off your hands, or eliminating this from your life as a gift, as a gesture of goodwill and good faith towards you. As we get on to your challenge this week, you do have the Knight of Pentacles in reverse, and it does look like a lot of you Piscean people are going to be finding that wrapping up old business, especially when it relates to a certain matter that you've been, that's been kind of high maintenance. I'm not sure if this has to do with work or any kind of project that has been, kind of consuming a lot of your time. The Knight of Pentacles reverse is indicating there's something about a project that almost doesn't want to end, or something about an engagement with somebody that doesn't want to end. It's almost like it's just becoming more work. It's just about the time and energy spent with no progress, no solution, no effort moving forward. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, you may be actually in a space where you have to find a way to get away from something that has actually just become more and more busy work, just more of a grind than an actual effort. And because it's not like Sisyphus, pushing the rock up the hill, and just trying to find meaning. This is a waste of time. And I feel like with the Knight of Pentacles reversed, yeah, it might be something that you could get paid for, or you've been getting paid for, but it's time to consider dropping it. It's time to let that go. You may feel like you have a duty to whatever this project is, whatever this person is, but I would be careful not to re-engage something that just wants to tie you down. As we get on to your relationships with love, romance, and partnerships, you do have the Seven of Pentacles upright. We do have good news. But with the Seven of Pentacles, unfortunately, it's not something that we're necessarily able to cash in on or get to work on or embark on right away. I'm feeling like a lot of you single Piscean people may be finding yourself in a situation where you actually get some good news, maybe in the form of a yes answer or an affirmation or reciprocity from another person. Maybe there's a chat. Maybe there's a phone number. Maybe there is a mutual acknowledgement of interest going on here. But it doesn't look like we can actually get this off the ground right this minute. And there could be a myriad of different reasons for that. But with the Seven of Pentacles, it's like we get something we have to wait to unwrap, if that makes sense. It's like a present that you can't open right now. Do not open till Christmas. No, you don't have to wait till Christmas. But with the Seven of Pentacles, I do see at least we have that. We can actually at least have some fun, play around, enjoy the exchange, but anything super big developing might have to wait until after this week. As we get on, for those of you who are currently coupled, the same is pretty much, showing up here, especially when it comes to certain big developments in your relationship or maybe in your entire household. It's almost as though we have found our prize, we have found what we've sought, but we do not get to put it to use for ourselves right away. Now, this could be good news coming through a partner, a big break, a big breakthrough, or something that is coming to both of us as a unit or all of us as a family. But it's something that we, again, are just going to have to wait till maybe a little later in the month to actually claim. So that is what I've got for you. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. I appreciate it. And should you ever want to get a session with me, go on ahead to my website. It's integrativemysticism.com.